Good morning, everyone. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all to the session AI-based innovative solutions. Today, we have with us a very learned person, Ms. Kalai Selvi VT. Ms. Kalai Selvi has been working as a technology officer in the All India Institute of Speech and Hearing AIISH Mysore at Department of Electronics since 2006. She has an MTech degree in VLSI and embedded systems and also MPhil and Masters in computer science as well. Her research area has been in hearing aids with use of artificial intelligence in speech signal processing and frequency transposition at AIISH Mysore. She has served as a resource person for networking technologies in EMMRC and delivered video lectures for UGC that were broadcasted in DD1 Nyan Darshan. She has to her credit many research articles in the area of hearing aids with artificial intelligence, efficacy in speech signal processing, and frequency compression in digital hearing aids. We are all eager to hear from you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. As Jeff Bezos rightly quoted, we are at the beginning of a golden age of artificial intelligence. Recent advancements have already led to the invention that previously lived in the realm of science fiction, and we have only scratched the surface of what is possible. A very good morning to one and all. Let me begin today's lecture by asking a question. Why is there a surge in the field of artificial intelligence? Several thrusts can be pointed out, but science and technology is trying to create a super intelligence that can outperform human beings, not just in specific tasks, but in the complex cognitive activity, which includes decision making, problem solving, memory, speech recognition, attention, and judgment. This can lead mankind to a life of ease like never known before when a lot of what they had to perform is done to perfection with the help of AI-aided robots or machine. Myself, Mrs. Kalai Selvi, I am working as a technical officer in All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore. All India Institute of Speech and Hearing is an autonomous institute fully funded by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. The major objectives of the institute are to impart professional training, render clinical services, conduct research, and educate the public on issues related to communication disorder such as hearing impairment, mental retardation, voice, fluency, and phonological language disorders. Let me begin with the artificial intelligence in hearing aids. My topic for today is AI-based innovative solution in hearing aids. Outline is, let me give an introduction to hearing aid, the basic hearing aid technology, its drawbacks, brief introduction to AI and AI-based hearing aids, the future technologies involved in it. Artificial intelligence has the potential to support and enhance the accessibility of information and communication technology. Lack of accessibility means that ICTs are unable to provide ease of use and support for persons with disabilities. AI for good has the potential to remove this barrier if it is provided with the right data and algorithm while ensuring the universal design. Assistive technology in the ITU model, any information and communication technology, product, device, equipment, and related services to maintain, increase the functional capabilities of individuals. So, what is a hearing aid? What is a hearing aid? It is an electroacoustic device which is designed to amplify sound, usually with the aim of making speech more audible and intelligible. We have hearing aids, various types of hearing aids with us. Hope you can see this.
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So this is a BTE hearing aid. In the sense, behind the ear, we will be placing it behind our ear with the ear tip like this. So BTE hearing aids have programmable facilities. There are analog and digitally programmable hearing aid. Let me just try to show you. Here we have the battery compartment, a microphone to pick the sound, and a volume control to adjust. Here we have the programming switch so that it can be changed to noisy environment and where speech is more intelligible, you can choose the programming switch. This is BTE hearing aid with the tip so that it fits behind the ear. And we have these are body level hearing aids with a clip, with a switch, a volume control. Microphone is over here, on and off switch over here. This comes with a tip where we have the receiver here. The body worn hearing aids are used like this with a tip. This receiver is a costly thing and artificial intelligence can be used to make the receiving end more intelligible, making use of this body worn hearing aids too. Here we have a battery compartment. This is the battery compartment. Here we need to put a battery for the hearing aid to work. This is how we prescribe hearing aids to our clients who come over here for hearing testing. Latest technologies has evolved and we have a smaller hearing aid. This is called receiver in the kennel. Here we have the battery compartment, very small. You can see the size of the cell will be 300. It is a tiny battery cell to put in the hearing aid. Make use of it with receiver in the kennel. Receiver comes in a separate box and this has to be fitted to the hearing aid. Even a mold impression of the ear can be made like this. The ear impression is taken and a mold can be made for the receiver. Can you see? Can I show like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So the receiver is embedded in the mold and this receiver will fit in the ear completely according to the impression of the patient. Then the hearing aid has to be put over like this. This will be fitted to the hearing aid and nothing will be seen. It is like invisible hearing aid. The other thing is completely in the kennel hearing. Can you just see it is less than an inch? It's very small. Cosmetically, this is more preferred by most of them. And it comes with just a twig. So when we insert the hearing aid to our ear, only the twig will be seen to just pull it out. And here we have a wax guard also. This also comes with a battery compartment and the battery size is very small. This is also programmable hearing aid. So this actually, the problem with the hearing aids is it will be amplifying both the sound and the noise. But usually we use this artificial intelligence in hearing aid to separate noise from sound. It should be more intelligible to make out the programming. Although it is programmed by the computer, they have limitations for fine tuning to fit because depending on the hearing impairment of the client, it may vary. It has directional microphone. I showed you in a bigger thing. We have a microphone over here, volume control over here. All that will be present. With this, the features, it has noise reduction. As we have told, hearing aid will be amplifying both noise as well as my speech. It is an electronic device that cannot differentiate between noise and speech. My good sound, bad sound. So that has to be differentiated and the noise has to be reduced. Digital noise reduction, impulse noise reduction, wind noise reduction, All that has to be taken care of by the hearing aid. Even FM compatibility is there for frequency modulation. When a child is in a classroom and he is hearing impaired, a data logging will be applied to them and he will be more effective in handling it. We have a neck loop. The hearing aid has to be worn here and the neck loop detects the noise cancellation with it. So these hearing aids are electronic devices that process sound to make it audible and intelligible to people with hearing impairment. It enhances the acoustic signal to a degree that enables individuals with hearing loss to use their remaining hearing in a useful and efficient manner. They are designed to enhance the range of hearing for conversion or speech. A tiny processor works inside the digital hearing aids and to optimize the sound, which improves the audibility, recognition of speech, and comfort of hearing. We have a volume control over here so that you can adjust the volume when you're in a noisy environment or in a quiet place. Challenges in hearing aid speech processing include improving the hearing performance in noise, precise identification of wanted and unwanted sound, preserving audibility while minimizing the negative effect of noise, preserving loudness and enhancing intelligibility and limitation in providing the required gain at high frequency. To maximize the capabilities of digital technology in hearing aids and their performance, advances in algorithm and software development needs to be effectively used. Depending on the variation in communication, environments, and situations, the challenge in improving the performance of the hearing aid needs to be addressed. In everyday listening situations, reduced speech to noise ratio provides a significant challenge for persons with hearing loss, particularly sensory neural hearing loss. So here comes the artificial intelligence. It's a field of computer science in which programs are created to apply multidimensional intelligent solution to complex problems. Advancement in hearing aids have bloomed with the advent of digital technology, which help to enhance the listening experience for those who are hard of hearing. While conventional digital hearing aids adjust their performance based on predictions and assumptions of how an individual should hear in a given environment, hearing aid with artificial intelligence goes much further in its imitation of the human brain. Hearing aids with AI can function completely automatically without the touch of a button. I've showed you so many buttons over here to control the program, to control the volume, to change the battery situations, and to adjust with the environment. But hearing aids with artificial intelligence, now they have introduced a hearing aid. With a tap of the ear, you can change the programming and adjust to the environment. So it's little costly, and they have introduced it this year, maybe 2020, sorry. And the artificial intelligence helps them to provide a basic necessity of not touching the hearing aid every time when they use it. Hearing aids with artificial intelligence ensure they are able to adapt instantly to changing listening environments. In each specific environment, the hearing aid knows exactly what needs to be done to make the wearer hear better. Artificial intelligent hearing aid achieves this through enhancing the directionality of the microphone. Microphone picks up the hearing aids. Here we have the microphone. It picks up the, when you wear like this, it picks up the speech from all the directions. So we need the directional microphone, differentiating noise from speech and reducing it. Noise has to be reduced and speech has to be enhanced, automatically adjusting the gain based on current input level of the signal. Finally, the hearing aid on its own arrives at the proper combination of each of the above feature to make the listening optional. The advantage of using artificial intelligence in hearing aid is that it is possible to handle complex and real-time situations, and it allows new solutions in audiology to be applied through complex problem-solving algorithms. There are limitations in the hearing aids. Hearing aids do not block out background noise. They do not separate speech and noise in noisy environments. They do not allow people to hear sound at a distance. Ma'am, can you see my slides?
No, ma'am, slides is not shared. I thought since you are showing this things.
Sorry, let me share it.
Okay.
Share screen. Ma'am, is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
No. Share screen. Go to the share and
It is coming, it seems, ma'am.
your screen share. Ma'am, is it visible?
It is showing a started screen sharing, not.
Because I was explaining with the slides.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were seeing it and I just. Okay, sorry. So these features only I was talking about. Uh, the directional microphone, feedback management, all that. And we do have a facility of telecoil in the hearing aid. Telecoil is a wireless feature that picks up electromagnetic signal from compatible telephones or looped rooms because the signal of interest is directed to the hearing aid's processor without using the microphone. Telecoil can improve the signal to noise ratio while eliminating the potential for feedback. Why should we need a telecoil in a hearing aid? Because when we talk over phone or in public performance, tours, exhibits, and worship services, an individual should be accessible via telecoil mode. Even we have designed a project for our museum in Mysore here, where the hearing impaired can make use of the telecoil system in his hearing aid and listen to the audio signals available over there. And FM compatibility is also there in the hearing aid. It's a wireless feature that enables the hearing aid to connect with the FM system. Sometimes I have a special attachment to the hearing aid called a boot. A small system is attached to the hearing aid. It can be used alone or with the hearing aids. Like telecoil FM system improve the compatibility, especially important when selecting the hearing aid for children because they are commonly used in educational settings to ensure that teacher's voice is heard above the clamor of the classroom. A data logging facility is a feature that stores data about the listening environments in which you wear your hearing aid and your preference for the program, volume level, and other feature. Information can be accessed by the hearing healthcare professional when we return for a follow-up appointment. We do have limitations in the hearing aids. Hearing aids do not block out background noise. So it will be amplifying my speech as well as the background noise like the fan sound, the carpet sound, the car keys rattling sound, all will be amplified by the hearing aid. They don't separate speech and noise in noisy environments. They don't allow people to hear sounds at a distance. And comes the battery life. I showed a battery that can be put to the hearing system. So small hearing aids, this is a receiver and the canal hearing aid. They have a battery compartment wherein we will be using this battery. Battery life lasts only for 72 hours or a week, depending on the usage. So this is a major problem with the hearing aid user. He needs to keep on changing the battery every 10 days or so. This can be taken up by an engineering student to work on it to go for rechargeable batteries. That was a project done in our institute by our students. Uh, how to make use of rechargeable batteries for the hearing aid, or how can you charge the hearing aid itself. Next comes the moisture content. The hearing aid user may be swimming or it would have got wet with his sweat For that reason, the moisture content will enter the board in the hearing aid and the hearing aid will go off. Next comes this earwax. Earwax, excessive earwax. I showed a hearing aid, a small hearing aid. This completely in the canal hearing aid. Here I can show, I think. Here we do have a wax cord. Is it visible or I couldn't make it? I hope it is visible.
Visible, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So this wax cord protects the wax entering the hearing aid, and the PCB will get affected when the wax enters it, interfering with the performance of the device. It can easily get into the parts such as a microphone. This can hinder the performance of the hearing aid. Next, coming to the static feedback thing. Some hearing aid can pick up their own operating sound, which tends to happen when something is rubbed against them. This can end up causing amplification to the sound they are making, resulting in a sound that is squealing, high pitched, and jarring, so that the hearing aid user will have pain in his ears. Comes the control, volume control. Controlling the volume control, a small button is there, 1, 2, 3. You can control the volume over here. With all this typically has to adjust the volume regularly depending upon the environment that they were with. And the newer devices tend to do this automatically. Some new users might worry that they will still have to be discreetly adjusting the volume to all situations. So here comes what is artificial intelligence. It's to model intelligent behavior with minimal human intervention. So I've told you, this volume control needs to be adjusted every time depending on the environments. But with artificial intelligence, it is just a tap of a finger in the ear. The hearing aid with artificial intelligence can make out. It has to increase the volume or decrease the volume depending upon the quiet situations or noisy environments. So, machines and computer programs are capable of problem solving and learning like a human brain. So, we know this natural language processing and translation, their pattern recognition, visual perception, decision making, all this would have been told because it is a chain of artificial intelligence program going on in your system. The advantages become smarter over time. Machine is not susceptible to sleep deprivation, distraction, information overload, or short-term memory loss. So, in medicine, two main branches are there for artificial intelligence. One is the virtual branch, the other is the physical branch. Virtual branch is highly repetitive work for the health workers, empower of doctors, and queue system managing wait time, automatic scheduling. This deep learning devices will not replace clinicians. Even we do get in our institute hundreds and hundreds of clients, patients every day, and we need to went to the profession, offering them the expertise, assistance. They cannot be replaced with artificial intelligence completely. But in medicine, a virtual branch is there where unsupervised, supervised, and reinforced learning has to be given. The virtual component is represented by machine learning. It's also called deep learning with mathematical algorithms that improve learning through experience. The types of algorithms used that benefits the artificial intelligence, we may go for assisting the physicians, clinical decision making. Maybe the audiogram or the symptoms can be fed through the system, and the output, depending on the output, the hearing aid user can be divided for early diagnosis or feedback on treatment, prediction of outcome of the disease, as well as the treatment. Now, to reduce the diagnostic and therapeutic errors, we can depend on artificial intelligence. Increased patient safety and huge cost saving is associated with it. It extracts useful information from a large patient population. When we receive hundreds of patients every day, we need assistance making real-time interference with the hearing risk alert and health outcome of the prediction. So in medicine, for physical object medical devices, the sophisticated robots are used for surgery. Patients who have less than 10 years of age, when they go for the early detection of hearing impairment. Maybe you would have seen people wearing a cochlear implant over here that directly activates the auditory nerve. So with that, we can make use of chatbots or robots for surgery with artificial intelligence to monitor the effectiveness or to deliver the treatment, to perform the surgery. We can make use of artificial intelligence in healthcare. Since increasing individual healthcare expenses can be reduced and larger geriatric population, like in old age, it is difficult for them to visit the institute and that too during this corona time we were working on virtual we were using all our aids because we can't visit them. We are not supposed to interact with them or touch them without our PP kits when the patient comes. So this artificial intelligence, if it is employed in this institute, it will be of great help for the medical practitioner to perform their task with minimal human intervention and critical factor. So, what are all the challenges with artificial intelligence? The development cost. It involves lots of cost and integration issues with ethical issues. Reluctance among medical practitioners to adapt AI. They will not believe in a machine themselves. Even our audiologist or speech pathologist, they will be tell we can only perform the audiogram perfectly with the patient. And the lack of interoperability between the AI solutions, state and federal regulations, rapid and iterative procedures of software updates are there, but it requires high initial capital requirement and the potential for increased unemployment may be there if AI is used in the institute. Concerns regarding privacy and security because the database will be available. So where we use the application areas of artificial intelligence, the recent trends of it, that recent trends that it is all, we see a machine learning application with all this transportation, infrastructure, industry, medical healthcare, all this is there already existing. The technology with voice recognition, image recognition like text recognition, picture recognition, machine learning, deep learning, all this I think you have a series of lectures and they would have covered all ANI, AGI things with process automation, cognitive insight, what it does to enhance customer experience, to create new revenue, to reduce cost. This is all there. The recent trends are mostly ANI based and still AGI utilization are being done. ANI, we know that with the chess things and all, it happens divided into service-based voice recognition, expanding to autonomous vehicle, healthcare, all our Siri and Alexa, they are using it in ANI application. But AI-based hearing aids, they have Bluetooth compatibility. The Bluetooth compatibility, you can connect the mobile phone and other devices that uses the Bluetooth. It introduced a new technology called hearing reality. It makes the beginning of a hearing revolution, you can say. It has integrated sensors and artificial intelligence that track and take charge of body and brain health. They can track your physical activity similar to our Fitbit and measure the actions that are good for brain health, like daily usage of your hearing aid, social engagement, time spending listening actively. This can be like answering your phone call and streaming conversation. What we make use of this Fitbit for, the same thing can be applied to our hearing aids with AI compatibility, Bluetooth compatibility, adjusting the volume, settings, or memories, requesting and receiving adjustment by the hearing professional without having go to their office. We are working on a project like this. Our audiologist from our office are trying to tune the hearing aid fitted to the hearing impaired person who is there in his home. They need not come to the office. They can request and receive adjustment with their Bluetooth compatibility using their phone. They can have this audiogram setting our people will be doing from office, and the person with hearing impairment can make use of it. This has a new technology called hearing reality for translating languages, streaming the translation directly to the hearing aid. When there is some language issues, because as per our All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, it is the only institute in the whole of Asia, and we receive patients from all over India as of now, even from Andaman, Ceylon. People come to All India Institute of Speech and Hearing for programming the hearing aid or fitting the hearing aid. So there will be a language problem. We have a barrier over here to translate the language uh, locally spoken, or they should understand the instruction what we are giving. This hearing aids with artificial intelligence has the facility to translate the language, and the feedback management has to be done. The year's version of virtual reality. Hearing reality uses high speed, high definition computer processing to manage, separate, and help us focus these many layers of sound to better replicate a natural hearing. Bluetooth technology has the ability to improve the signal to noise ratio and eliminate the feedback from the microphone, because the signal bypasses the microphone and directly enters the hearing aids processor. A Bluetooth connection is also less likely to experience interference, which can occur with an FM system. It uses the parallel processing where the decision making is based on the solution, which provides the speech to noise ratio. The biggest advantage of using artificial intelligence in hearing aids is streaming on and off by simply tapping your ear instead of your hearing aid. And it allows an audiological solution to be applied through complex problem solving algorithms. This AI aids can learn and perform tasks that no other hearing aids can do, including the streaming on and off, translating and tracking and measuring the parameters related to body and brain health. As I have already told, you can answer phone calls, streaming conversation, adjust volume control, setting, memories, requesting and receiving adjustment from the hearing profession, and creating and using personalized memory, which automatically activate when you get to your favorite to frequented locations also, that can be done. It measures the actions that are good for brain health, like your daily usage of hearing aid, this time spent listening activity. And we have done a paper for the music performance using hearing aids with artificial intelligence. So now I was just telling you about how to differentiate between my speech and my background noise by the hearing aid. Artificial intelligence helps in differentiating the sound and noise. But when a music listener or a musician uses a hearing aid, uh, they have to differentiate between the consonants, vowels, CV, we say voiced and unvoiced CVs, like ka, pa, tha, the. They have to differentiate between th and the. So this has to be done making use of artificial intelligence only in hearing aids, because they'll be like there won't be any pitch difference when they listen with hearing aid. So uh, we made a project like to differentiate how they feel with hearing aid and without hearing aid. When we ask them, they will tell like everything sounds the same. The music is the same. There is no differentiation. So, in future scenario, we feel that the hearing aids, excuse me. So, even though a large population is affected with hearing impairment in developing countries like India, number of people seeking for rehabilitation are found to be very less, because audiology in India has shown a marked improvement in terms of manpower development, audiological service delivery, and public awareness. In culture value systems, especially in India, which believed in collective attitudes, it has its effect on perception and interpretation of hearing loss and hearing aid use. Here, majority of hearing impaired adults are subject to higher unemployment rate or at higher percentage of lower grade of employment. Hence, there seems to be an adverse effect of hearing loss on the potential of hearing impaired individual to add to the economy through participation in paid work. Loss of productivity, which is defined as the difference between rate of participation by adult compared to the general working age. So, the current production of hearing aid is anticipated to meet less than 10% of global need. Comparing it to the need which exists in the current scenario, growth of the world market for amplification is found to be about 3 to 4%. In Western world, only 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 people with hearing impaired owns a hearing aid. And even with low proportion using hearing aid, however, in low and middle income countries, this can go up to 1 in 10 and 1 in 20 people with hearing impairment. This can be attributed to belief in a direct scientific cause and relationship between the biological problem in children or adult among Western population. So, when this artificial intelligence in hearing aids is used in a developed country, it must be cost effective, the first thing is, and the hearing aid user should get a contact with the hearing professional so that they can have a backup or receive adjustment. They can request how to program the hearing aid. It requires a little more knowledge with the hearing aid. When they particularly use something like receiver in the canal, that has to be handled with extreme care. The specification, their features, they need to be aware of it, such as noise reducing algorithm, speech enhancement strategies, the directional microphone technology, intelligent system, ear to ear wireless communication, the connectivity has increased. All that they have to be taken care of. In case in the hearing aid, the inverse relationship between the size and the price among the completely in the canal hearing aid that I have showed you, this affects to the appearance factor in individual with hearing impairment. Everybody will be asking like, I should wear a hearing aid, but it should not be seen. It should be invisible hearing aid. So this is little costly, like 40 to 50,000 they need to spend for this hearing aid, and everyone is not purchasing it because it's not cost effective. Now, I don't know whether I can take this platform to ask this. We do little ARF projects, so that Aish is funding for projects. Engineering students or professionals, they can come with this suggestions that can be made with hearing aid users, even if it is a small thing also. Funding can be done from our end, but we need minds to set it up. I think my friend who is responsible for me giving me this opportunity to be here with you. Thanks to Dr. Dhanalakshmi, and she was telling me that you can just come and share your thoughts. But this, I feel, when we get some elections program like this, we can even have a collaborative project with you people, and funding can be done from Aish. But the project should be like something useful to the hearing aid users, or to the use of artificial intelligence in any small system that can be done, because the battery life, whether it is a telecoil thing or FM compatibility, data logging, whatever whatever I was telling you about here, the tracking or measuring the parameters, that can be done with your students if you wish to be here. So the future in the Indian scenario is a collaboration between medical and technical institutions. We will take care from our end, and your technical people, if you could support us for the use of anything like current status of medical record, data capturing in real time, or our transformation into intelligible process, helping our hearing professionals, how it can be done. AI can be used to program the hearing aids, making use of the hearing professionals over here. We have a team working on with the speech technologists, speech pathologists, and a team of technicians over here, audiologists for programming the hearing aids. So, if possible, we can think about it for a collaborative project. Uh, this that may help for the medical and technical futuristic. Latest AI projects includes robotic self-driving. This we have seen already. You have a series of lectures up here. They will have done it. I take. I would like to thank Dr. Anand, Tina Susan, and Dr. Dhanalakshmi, and your head, Dr. Vijay, for giving me this opportunity. If you have any questions, please.
Ma'am, we have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Will earwax lead to hearing problems, and how can it be detected
Yes.
at early stages and so on?
Yes, ma'am. Earwax leads to hearing problem. Earwax has to be removed by a ENT doctor. Uh, that will block the ear from receiving the speech signals. When it is cleaned by an ENT person, ENT doctor, definitely it will give a help, ma'am. But some people will be having wax accumulation and secretion of this earwax that has to be removed every now and then, only by a professional. Usually we make use of this buds and all to do it. That is totally wrong, because we are trying to push the wax little inside, deeper and deeper. That is causing a lot of hardened wax. If the wax gets hardened enough, they need to do the treatment in a different way. Like they have to put drops and wait for 2 to 3 days for the wax to little soften, then only can be removed. And definitely earwax affects the hearing.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, is there any age specifications for this hearing aid which you have developed?
Yes, ma'am, it is there. See, the hearing loss will be there with aging.
Okay, ma'am.
Though we hear now properly, maybe with 70 years or 80 years, the age definitely causes problem in hearing. And for the aged people, we cannot use all sorts of hearing aids, what I have shown you here. And depending upon the hearing loss, the loss may be mild, moderate, severe, profound. It depends on the degree of hearing loss. We prescribe the hearing aid, and everybody will be like, we will take the small hearing aid because it will not be seen if I'm wearing it. Clients ask us, but the thing is, with mild to moderate loss only, that small CIC hearing aid can be used. It's really nice, but only the string will be seen. But this cannot be used for all ages, for all losses. It is only for mild to moderate loss, maybe around 60 dB loss, 65 dB loss. This will help. More than that, if the patient is having a hearing loss, this cannot help, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Participants, if any more questions, please ask me. Okay, ma'am, I think that's the final question. No more questions, it seems.
No more questions received.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It is really heartening to see that you gave a hands-on experience to our participants by the real-time display and explanations pertaining to the AI-facilitated hearing aid technology. We are highly indebted to you for the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for this opportunity to the management and the staff, faculty, to you, Ms. Tina, ma'am, Dr. Anand, sir, Dr. Vijay, sir, and my friend, Dr. Dhanlakshmi. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am, and participants.